For the first time since 1991, the Hopkins Royals baseball team is poised to make a trip to the state tournament and be a section champion. Tonight, all they have to do is beat the Jefferson Jaguars, a team they beat a week ago Saturday. We'll have it next for you on Cable 12. Swung on by Thompson. This could be trouble. From Siebert Field on the campus of the University of Minnesota, it's baseball time and championship night for the Hopkins Royals. Tonight they need to face off against the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars, a team that comes in 20-5. The Royals, however, have a 15-9 record, and what a turnaround in this year for first-year head coach Dan Johnson. And good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Conlon, and welcome you to Siebert Field, where tonight the Royals are poised, ready to go to make their section championship bid, the first time since 1991. And it's a Royal team that really has done it with just everything going on sync. And they've got a lot of players, not just the seniors, everybody contributing. And really, it's going to be a fun atmosphere here tonight. Now, the conditions are this: if the Royals win tonight, it's over. They're the champions. But if they lose, they have to come back tomorrow and face off against the Jaguars once again. So the Royals and the Jaguars, and we're set to go. And as you look at the matchups, it's really a good one on the mound. Matt Haas will pitch for the Royals tonight. He's a hard-throwing right-hander. The junior will go for the Royals and Dan Johnson. Opposing him is Adam Brett. Brett has a 1.59 ERA. The Jaguars are coming off a victory here just moments ago against Jefferson, a 9-1 win. And, you know, it really has, they have hit the ball well, but both teams have done that. And so it should be an interesting matchup here tonight at Siebert Field. And certainly, as I mentioned, Hopkins a year ago, 6-14, now 15-9, and poised to win that championship. And we'll be back with today's first pitch when we return here on Cable 12.
What do you get when you combine premier programming from public, educational, and government access channels in Bloomington? The new Bloomington Channel. You'll see notable programming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Programs are divided into 4 easy-to-follow time blocks. New programming begins every evening at 6 p.m. With a channel guide on Channel 34, you'll be able to locate all of your favorite shows, city council, school board meetings, and special events. Want more? Tune into the Bloomington Channel, Channel 14. It's for you.
Back at Siebert Field, Bill Conlon with you here on Cable 12, set to go for championship night, and the Royals and the Jaguars. And here's how Jefferson stacks up their lineup. Second baseman Tyler Gregory will lead it off, and he'll be followed by Todd Kanan at third base, wearing number 9. The shortstop is John Nuss, and he'll bat in the number 3 spot. Cleanup hitter tonight is the first baseman Dan Richards. He'll be followed by the center fielder John Conrad, and then the designated hitter, John Towie. Towie is wearing number 11. The right fielder is Liam Beaver, and he'll bat in the 7th spot. Jeff Bormus does the catching. He's wearing number 6 and bats 8th. And the left fielder is Adam Laboda. He wears number 18. And in the field tonight for the 16-9 Hopkins Royals, in left field it's R.J. Richens. In center field, Jacob Swartout. The right fielder is Adam Acker. The third baseman is Jeff Urkala. The shortstop, Todd Yankee. And the second baseman, Mark Phelps. The first baseman is Dustin Rector. And behind the plate for the Royals tonight is Damian Winther. The pitcher is Matt Haas. Haas on the season is 4-1, 36-plus innings pitched. He's got 48 strikeouts and a 4.23 ERA. He had 10 strikeouts in the Royals' win over Armstrong last Monday night. And so a week ago tonight, I should say, that he threw a complete game, and he has been clocked at upwards of 86, 87 miles per hour. So the junior can bring it, and a big right-hander on the mound for the Royals. I mentioned in the pregame that what a season and what a job that Dan Johnson has done in his first year, having come from Peru State in Nebraska, an NAIA Division baseball program, and 5 years down at the college ranks, or up at the college ranks actually, and Before that, he had 5 years of coaching, and you can see Dan behind Brett Jost there. There's a good look at Dan clapping and trying to get his team going. Brett Jost, the assistant, Hopkins graduate. And the Royals and the Jaguars set to go. And the first pitch to be delivered to Tyler Gregory, the second baseman. As I mentioned, Jefferson had to play the game here earlier today and beat Minnetonka, so eliminated the Skippers by winning 9-1. They had a big inning. Had a 3-1 lead going into the top of the sixth when they scored 6. First pitch is a strike right down the inside or outside part of the plate for Matt Haas. And as I mentioned, Haas 4-1 on the year. He's done a outstanding job, and he throws hard. That one again didn't look like, well, same spot, but no, it's called a ball. So a little discretionary choice there for home plate umpire George Drocious. As here comes the third pitch, and the 1-1 pitch, shallow right field, and caught up to there by Adam Acker, and out number 1. So Gregory retired after 3 pitches, and that'll bring up the third baseman Todd Keenan. Keenan on the year, having a pretty good year for the Jaguars, batting .440, 17 RBIs for Keenan, and the 20-5 Jaguars, which really had a splendid outing there against Tonka, and in most respects didn't have to use a lot of pitchers. There's a shot right back up the middle, and that will elude Yankee at short. It's the first hit of the ball game, and so the Jaguars pick up where they left off in the earlier game with a single by Keenan, a 1-out single by Keenan right up the gut here, as you see it. Good look, and Yankee giving it a try there, as Todd has had a fine season here in his sophomore year. John Nuss, the batter, the shortstop, with 1 away and 1 on here in the top of the first. Winther blocks that one, keeps it in front of him, and the runner stays. Keenan down there at first with Dustin Rector holding him on. Beautiful night for baseball. The flags are right where they should be. No wind right now. Calm as could be. Pitch, 1-0 pitch is down low, and it's 2-0 now to Nuss. John Nuss on the year, .402 batter, 25 RBIs and 2 home runs for the Jaguar senior. And here comes the 2-0 pitch from Matt Haas. It's outside. Oh, it caught the corner. Strike. And Drocious a little fooled me there. It took a little time to call that strike. And so in the inside corner, makes the count 2 balls and a strike with a runner on here and 1 out. There goes the runner. Shot up the middle, and a good hit and run by the Jaguars. They're going to throw to third. That'll let the runner go up to second as he turned sharply, actually. And Nuss is on. So back-to-back singles here for Bloomington Jefferson. And they have runners at the corners. Looks as though Keenan may have come up a little hard on his left leg, pointing to his shin, or maybe got a spike in there. So close play down there at third. They're taking a look at it, and we'll take a look on replay. Let's see if we can pick it up here. The shot by Nuss right back up the middle, and you can see Keenan rounding second, and then the throw came in from Swartout, and hard to pick it up there. It looks like he just caught the base wrong. Didn't seem as though the spikes were a factor. Nonetheless, the Royals have to be a bit concerned here. 2 hits back-to-back with 1 away, and the Jaguars have something going in the top half of the first with runners at the corners. Of course, you have the Lake Conference having come in here, and Jefferson seated in there along with, of course, the big surprise was Armstrong getting knocked out so early. Ball gets away, but a bunt attempt there by the cleanup hitter, Dan Richards. And Richards, .260 batter, coming into the contest, 16 RBIs. And Little work here, a little jam for Matt Has to try to work out it's a long game, however. First game today went 2 hours and 20 minutes. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And the bunt attempt, it's a good one, and it will roll foul as Has had enough patience to wait that one out. It hit the grass and then took a right turn. And so now 0-2 to Richards, as you'll see the attempt coming up. Good camera work by our folks as always, and did a nice job there. So 0-2 with one away, and Richards steps back in. Look from our right center field camera. And with runners at the corners, that one is outside for ball one. Trying to pick up where our camera is. There he is, in our right center there. And 1-2 pitch coming from Has. He caught the corner, and he got Richards looking. Strikeout number one. It's a big one, though, with runners at the corners, and Richards takes the seat, and Dan Johnson out quickly to attack the Matt Has with runners at the corners and 2 away. Well, he caught him looking there, and Drocious, who has been consistent so far, those outside corner there. And Dan Johnson comes out, talk it over. As I mentioned, Tonka, 5 straight years they have owned the Section 6 competition. The last non-skipper champion were these Royals back in '91. John Conrad, the center fielder, will step in now with 2 away, runners at the corners, and Has first pitch is inside and low, ball one. Conrad on the year, batting .306. And the 1-0 pitch. Shot towards second. It handcuffed, and 1 run will score. Phelps had it hit him and then bounce into short center field. So Kanan comes in with the game's first run. It's 1-0 for Jefferson, and the error goes up on the board. So take a look at it. It's a hard shot, though, one right at Phelps, though, and he cannot make the play. And so Kanan comes in around to score. So Has will have to get 4 outs in the inning as John Towie, the designated hitter, steps in. Runners at first and second with 2 away, and the first pitch is in there for strike one. One nothing. Thomas Jefferson High School of Bloomington, of course, with a 1-0 lead here, and a shot, shallow short center field. It'll drop in. That'll score 1 run. They'll hold up Nuss and, Conrad at third. Nuss scores, and it's 2-0 Bloomington Jefferson. Conrad comes all the way around to third. Towie, you can see this one picks the spot where nobody was, right in the heart of right center field. And the third hit of the inning for the Royals. Right fielder Liam Beaver now. Beaver to step in with a 2-0 lead, and runners at the corner, still 2 out. Has to try to close the door here. Pop foul to the right side. And strike one. Beaver on the year so far, batting .365, 15 RBIs for the junior outfielder. And he can hit the ball, so can this whole lineup. We saw it with the Kennedy lineup as well against Armstrong. And here's the 1-0 pitch. 0-1 pitch, actually, that should be. Shot over to the Yankee. He gets the play. And so, finally, the Jaguars are retired, but not before Bloomington strikes for 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error on the Royals. And we'll head to the bottom of the first, where the Royals will send this lineup to the plate. Catcher Damian Winther will bat first. wearing number 28, and they'll face off against Adam Brett. Winther in the number 1 spot. Third baseman Jeff Urkela and bat second. The pitcher Matt Haas will bat in the number 3 spot wearing 44. Designated hitter tonight is Chris Peterson wearing 40, and he's in the cleanup role. Center fielder Jacob Swartow will bat 5th. Adam Acker is the right fielder. He's wearing 88, and he's batting in the 6th spot. Left fielder R.J. Richens will bat in the number 7 spot and play left field. And Mark Phelps is the second baseman batting number 8. Todd Yankee is the shortstop, and he'll bat 9th. So Winther, Urkela, Haas, Peterson, Swartout, Acker, Richens, Phelps, and Yankee. And they'll face this Jefferson defensive lineup. The Jaguars 20-5 with Adam Laboda in left, John Conrad in center. Liam Bieber is the right fielder. Todd Kanan is at third base. John Nuss is the shortstop. Tyler Gregory will play second base. Dan Richards is at first. Jeff Bormas is behind the plate and catching Adam Brett tonight. Brett with a 1.59, 1.59 ERA, and not a big kid, but a senior that knows how to pitch. He's a smart pitcher and has done the job for the Jefferson Jaguars. So we're set to go in the bottom of the second. Leading it off will be Damian Winther as the Royals find themselves down 2-0. It's got to be a difficult game for Hopkins coming in here knowing that they just need to win 1 of 2, but the last thing you really want to do is fall into that second game and have it all ride on that one, whereas Jefferson has it all riding on this one. So first pitch to Winther, a ball, and here comes the 1-0 pitch. Winther swings through and misses. Strike 1. 1-1 to Damian. Damian on the year, batting .333 with 10 RBIs. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Did it hit him? No, just got out of the way in time. So ball 2. Winther has played most of the games. Has 78 at bats. And this one shot back to the mound. Brett will take it himself, and the fourth pitch is recorded as an out. 1-3 for Adam Brett. Take a look at it. Winther trying to jump on that pitch, the 1-2 pitch, but got it right back to Brett. He sends it over to Richards for the first out. That brings up the third baseman, Jeff Urkela. Urkela on the season, batting .328. And Jeff is 14 RBIs and 2 home runs. Go with that average. There's strike to even the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Thomas Jefferson leading 2-0. And here's the 1-1 pitch. It's in there for strike 2. Hopkins, the Royals, came into this tournament as the 5th seed. Find themselves in a chance to win it all. But they've fallen behind here early. 1-2 pitch, and it jammed Urkela, and he fouls it off the left side to stay alive. Royals team batting average down at .292, but it's really been their pitching that has stood out at many of the times here, especially in the postseason. That pitch inside, and the count goes to 2-2. Tough one to take. There's a bender in there, but Urkela, good eye. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Brett, it's outside, and it's ball 3. 3-2. And our first full count of the evening. In the bottom of the first for the Royals third baseman Jeff Urkela, and that pitch hit him. Urkela will take it. He would have had to walk anyway. It's kind of funny. Probably should have moved out of the way when had to take that one hard off the back, but it wasn't a big throw. And I'm going to take a look at it there. right in the middle of the back, kind of the shoulder blade area, and Jeff seems to be just fine, which you could take a Mack truck to put Jeff down, or any of the guys in this lineup. Yankee in the Armstrong victory took a ball off the eye and still has a very sore looking left eye, but he's been okay. First pitch to the pitcher is a swing and a miss for strike one. One gone. Royals have a Urkela at first, trailing 2-0. And Has trying to do some damage here with a .321 average and 13 RBIs. Evens the count at 1-1. Long look in by Brett, and he goes back over to first, but easily back is Urkela. Jaguars mentioned a good 20-5 record coming in here. This one is outside, but a good stop there by Bormus to keep Urkela down at first. 2 balls and a strike with 1 away here in the bottom of the first from Siebert Field. The Section 6 championship on the line. The Royals can win it. They will head to the state tournament. First time since 1991. And here comes the 2-1 pitch. Shot back up the middle, but covered by Nuss. Nice play. Scoops it over to Gregory. And a good 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. And no runs, no hits, and no errors for the Royals in the bottom of the first. After 1, it's 2-0 Jefferson.
Community Journal, a program that gives you a better look at the northwest suburbs. It's about our cities, where we live. It's about our businesses, what we do. It's about our lifestyles, how we live. It's about our people, who we are. Community Journal, life in the northwest cities. Daily at 7:30 a.m., 12:30, and 6:30 p.m. on Cable 12.
This vehicle can take you to places no other vehicle can. To strange worlds and even stranger life forms. To the silicon landscapes of tomorrow's supercomputers. This incredible vehicle can take you as far as your ability and imagination will allow. But only if you don't bail out. So stay in school. This message was brought to you by the United States Air Force.
Good crowd on hand at Siebert Field as we head to the top of the second. Jefferson having struck for 2 in their top of the first, and they lead it 2-0, kind of following along with their winning way over Minnetonka, and that's why I asked Dan Johnson before the game, did he like the setup? Different sections do different ways as far as how to create a champion with the double elim format, and he said, no, this is how he liked it, but I'm sure he doesn't like the fact that he's down by 2 right now. And in the second, it'll be Bormus, Laboda, and Gregory, the 8, 9, and number 1 batters to face Matt Has. Bormus steps in the first pitch. Down low, ball 1. Two nothing. Jefferson with the lead, and here's the 1-0 pitch to Bormus. It's in there for strike 1. I had to wait once again. The home plate umpire, George DeRoches, a slow strike caller. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Shot down the third baseline. Oh, what a great effort there by Urkela, but this one will go to the left field where scooped up by R.J. Richens, and they hold him to a single. And now Dan Johnson, and there's some talk here. Let's take a look here. And now, where did that ball end up? Is the other discussion they're having. I want to see the replay here. Now they're going to say a ground rule double. And take a look at the play once again. It goes right down the third baseline, and let's see if you can pick it up on the replay. You can see that the umpire, if you kept it going there, folks, you would have seen that the umpire had the play there, and that's why they're having the discussion. Now Dan Johnson has come out. They were going to award a ground rule double, but I don't know if I think the discussion is over, so we'll take a look at it one more time, though. Or was it foul fair? I think what Dan Johnson might have been talking about. You can see umpire just nicked him, but I don't even think it touched him. So, nonetheless, Adam Laboda now, the left fielder, steps in. They do award Bormus, of course, with the single, which the only question there was Johnson, I think, thought perhaps it was foul. I think the signal was the confusing part down there. And any result, anyhow, I should say, it's on to the next batter, the number 9 hitter, Laboda, and strike one to him. Has to deal with the batter at this point. And the bunt attempt, it's a good one, right back to the mound. They'll go and get the lead runner, though, and a great job there by Has to turn and fire and get Bormus. So Bormus retired, and Laboda reaches on the fielder's choice. Take a look at the bunt. Comes right back to the mound. Good defensive stance by Matt Has. Heads up play, and he gets Bormus by a step, sending it off to Phelps at second. Back to the top of the lineup. Tyler Gregory, the batter. Gregory on the year, batting .398. And he flew out back in the first. Now the 2-0 lead. That ball comes in high and close inside. So evening the count at 1-1. Let's look at the senior second baseman. Sharp outfits, sharp uniforms that the Jaguars have, reminiscent of the Dodgers. This shot right off his foot and foul. Gregory shaking it off at home plate, but that one fouled off. Looked as though it was his outside ankle. So Has ahead of the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. We're in the top half of the second. Jefferson with a 2-0 lead and trying to add to that as Laboda down at first base. And here comes the 1-2 pitch from Has. In there, strike 3. He struck him out, as he did with the many a Falcon batter a week ago tonight. And that strikeout number 2, the second one looking. And that'll bring up Todd Keenan, the third baseman. Keenan singled and scored back in the first. And batting .440, he has been a dangerous hitter for the opposing team. And this one shot. Phelps has it, though, at second. Throws on over to Rector at first, and that will do it for Jefferson in the second. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and after 1.5, it's 2-0.
When breaking news hits, Cable 12 is the one to turn to. Whether it's a holdup at a Brooklyn Center store, a hit-and-run accident that injured a state trooper, or a snowmobile accident that left a local man paralyzed, Cable 12 News is there, even before the big downtown stations. That's because we focus exclusively on your community here in the northwest suburbs. So when breaking news hits, switch to Cable 12 News.
More famous names in Minnesota baseball. There you see them, Molitor, Winfield, and I think Dick Siebert would be happy, very happy to be amongst those gentlemen as we pull back on a nice evening here at Siebert Field. The Royals down 2-0, but certainly there have been many a run scored in this tournament, and no lead is safe. I'll guarantee you that, as the Royals will send Chris Peterson, the designated hitter, Jacob Swartout, and Adam Acker up here in the bottom of the second. Peterson on the year batting .408. And 2 home runs and 27 RBIs for the senior, who does a little bit of whatever you ask him to do is really what his situation has been. Chris this year. First pitch inside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch from Brett is outside. So trying each side of the plate, but not having any luck there. And I'm sure they've got the read on Peterson. Going to pitch him smart here. Shot right back at Brett though, and he gloved it nicely for the first out. So a lot like he did in the first. Got Winther with a hard comebacker at the mound, and the throw over to Richards to retire Peterson in 3 pitches. Swartout now, the batter. Jacob on the year batting .310, 9 RBIs and 1 home run. There's a shot. The left hole. If he runs hard, can he get it? No. Bobbled well. Nice play there by John Nuss to stay with it. And you could see Swartout was looking him off the whole way, but ended up didn't have the wheels to get it. And take a look at the swing. And Swartout watching it all the way. Nuss lost it for a moment, then picked it back up, kept it in front of him, and the throw is in time. So quickly 2 away on 4 pitches, and that brings up the right fielder Adam Acker. Acker swing and a miss, strike 1. Adam Brett, the Jaguars had enough, and they're calling time now. Ball has come into play from the field behind Siebert Field, where they're a little softball action, and the long hit. Somebody indeed did hit that. Nonetheless, here's the 0-1 pitch to Acker, and it skips to the mound for ball 1. Adam Acker on the year, batting .338. He's got 9 RBIs and 1 home run to his credit. Struck out 9 times and has walked 4 times. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Acker in front of that one. So could well be a 1-2-3 inning here as a 1-2 pitch and 2 away for Adam Brett. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Royals go down in order. And after 2 innings of play, Bloomington Jefferson has a 2-0 lead on pitches like that. A strikeout here to end the second.
There's such a responsibility, all the love and attention you have to give to them all the time. Mine is always getting into things or doing something like tracking in the mud. Just when I feel the most irritated, those sad little eyes look up to me as if to say, "Mommy, I'm sorry." And then I finally give in and give her her favorite thing. She's my baby.
Adam has a disease that's making him tired, stunting his growth, and breaking down his immune system. A disease affecting over 12 million children. a disease that's totally curable. It's called hunger. Second Harvest is America's food bank network. Just call your local food bank to help.
Bill Conlon back with you here at Dick Siebert Field, and we're set to go to the third inning as the Royals trail 2-0. Bloomington Jefferson will send shortstop John Nuss, the first baseman Dan Richards, and center fielder John Conrad. It's the 3, 4, and 5 hitters up against Matt Haas. And Haas having had a little bit of difficulty there in the first, but certainly the error to Conrad that Conrad reached on was a big play because it allowed yet another run to score. So face Nuss, who singled back in the first. This is a blooper that will have a hard kill and a good run and a good catch. R.J. Richens caught up to it. Didn't think it would stay up there, but it did. And Richens makes the play. R.J., of course, familiar to a lot of Armstrong viewers. He came over in about the middle of the year from the home of the Falcons to trade in for the blue and silver of Hopkins, and he makes the play there for out number 1. Now first baseman Dan Richards, who struck out, looking in the first. His first pitch taken. It's an easy play by Phelps on over to Rector, and like that there are 2 away, 2 pitches and 2 gone. So nice fast-paced moving along game here, and take a look at Mark Phelps making easy work of this shot towards the hole. As he scooped it up, and John Conrad now the batter, the center fielder, as I mentioned, reached on an error back of the first. Here's the pitch, and that's a good look there from outside. All right, center field camera. Nice to mix it up there as our fine director Lisa Carter in the truck and crew. As here comes the 0-1 pitch. And it's in there. Had to wait for the umpire to make his call. I knew it was right where he liked it, but you can't hear him. And he makes that long strike call. Here, 2 away now, so quick work perhaps for Matt Haas on an 0-2 pitch. Struck him out looking, and the third strikeout for Matt Haas, and that's 3. That's it for the third inning, I should say. And 3 up, 3 down is what I was going to say. And we'll be back with the bottom of the third and the Royals trailing by 2.
When you need to understand the issues confronting your community, Cable 12 News is the one to turn to. Whether it's affordable housing in Maple Grove, the debate over a new stadium for the Minnesota Twins, or the controversy over the Hidden Lakes development, Cable 12 News is there, helping you sort out the facts from fiction. We do something the other stations can't. We focus exclusively on the issues facing your community in the northwest suburbs. Cable 12 News, the one to turn to.
As you take a look at Jeff Bormus and the lights on here at Siebert Field. Bill Conlon with you. Section 6. And for the first time in 5 years, the Section 6 champion will not be the Minnetonka Skippers. So, and if the Royals can get their bats going here, perhaps it can be them. They trail, though, 2-0. Quick start for the Jaguars, having come off eliminating Minnetonka here earlier tonight. And Adam Brett has cruised along. He's gotten the Royals in order. So that means the 7, 8, and 9 hitters will face Brett. It'll be left fielder R.J. Richens, Mark Phelps, and shortstop Todd Yankee, I should say, here in the third. R.J. Richens having come over, as I mentioned, from Armstrong, and R.J. batting .217 with 12 RBIs and 1 home run to his credit. Looks at strike 1. Brett seems awful confident up there on the mound. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And Richens turns on that one, fouls it back to fall behind 0-2. So Brett quickly ahead of the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the third, R.J. Richens, the 0-2 pitch, and Richens sends it down the right field line. It's foul, false foul. Oh my, it was right near the line. Liam Beaver over there to make a run at it, but falls just beyond the line, and so it's a long strike for Richens. Hopkins, as I mentioned a week ago, beat Armstrong on a night that saw Matt Haas strike out 10 Falcons, a complete game. But he had trouble there in the first, and the Jaguars took advantage of the opportunities. Comes the 0-2 pitch, up high, ball one. Good eye there by R.J. Dan Johnson coaching down at third. Brett Chose down at first. Looking on here as the Royals have nothing to show for their offense so far. Here's the 1-2 pitch, outside, ball two. 2-2, so RJ's got the count back at even. Now light breeze, just a beautiful night for baseball here at the home of the Gophers. 2-2 the count, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Adam Brett. And Coach Chose down at first, the assistant, looking on, and Dan Johnson says, come on, boys, let's get it going, as Mark Phelps will step up to the plate. Phelps on the year, batting .263. Mark has 4 RBIs and has really been kind of a get-on-base type hitter. Dan Johnson looking down at home plate saying, how about a fair ball there? And that certainly alludes to what he thought happened there back in the second. And now this ball, or do we have another ball on the field? We got a chance to have Dan work with us in the Richfield Armstrong game about 10 days ago. What a class act he is. What a great guy. And done a fantastic job up in the Royals, as I mentioned. What a turnaround. 6-14 a year ago. And here now poised to win the section title. And the umpire telling Adam Brett to hold off, and now finally he's ready. The 0-1 pitch coming. 0-1 pitch is shot high in the air by Phelps. Center fielder camps under it, then had to make a long run in, but Conrad does scoop it up for out number 2. So Conrad, as you'll see on this replay, started back and then finally had to make a run in. Make the sort of a shoot top catch there. Yankee now the batter. Todd, as you can see, wearing the face guard because of that injury to his eye in the Armstrong game, has batted .270, 13 RBIs, and he falls behind here, 0-1. Bloomington Jefferson with 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and Royals' only thing credit on their line score is the 1 error, which they certainly don't want to see. No runs, no hits, 1 error. Count even at 1-1. 2 away here in the bottom half of the third. That's the number 9 hitter, Yankee, facing Brett. That one on the outside corner, and boy, their pitchers certainly are getting the consistent call on the corner. That one way, seemingly from this angle, way outside. But no, sir, says George DeRoches. One ball and 2 strikes. The count to the shortstop Yankee. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The second strikeout of the inning, the third of the game for Adam Brett. And he cruises along, his no-hitter intact. And after 3 complete innings, Bloomington Jefferson leads Hopkins 2-0. More after this.
"20 kids. For 1 hour a week, you leave your concrete world of flip phones and faxes and talk to 20 kids about how business works. They will question everything, but those 20 kids will talk to 20 more. So by Saturday, what you said on Thursday could be halfway around their world. You get to make a difference. Could just make the rest of your week pretty dull. That's the new JA, teaching kids how business works."
What would you do if you were on fire? I don't know. Jump in a tub? No, you gotta stop, drop, and roll.
If your clothes catch fire, you gotta drop to the ground. If your clothes catch fire, you gotta go round and round. You just stop, drop, and roll. Get down on the ground and stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll, baby.
Good look at the Williams Arena, where a lot of great action happened this past winter. Certainly home of the Golden Gophers, that Final Four entrant. And as we pan back, you can also see Mariucci in the background as well. Set to go to the top half of the fourth, and the Jaguars will send John Towie, Liam Beaver, and Jeff Bormus, excuse me. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to face Matt Haas. Here's first pitch. And a pitch that may have a little trouble. No, not for Jacob Schwartout. He had to make a long run, and boy, that ball just hung up there. You'd think they were in 90-degree humidity. That ball really hung up there. And Towie is out on one pitch. Liam Beaver, the right fielder now. Reached on a fielder's choice back in, would have reached on a fielder's choice back in the first, but it was the third out. And he looks at a ball. Beaver in the year with 15 RBIs, batting .365 for Jefferson. And here's the 1-0 pitch. High, ball 2. It's not that I'm that bad at reading. I'm just waiting for this umpire, because he takes a long time to call his strikes. He's not very emphatic about it either. Here's the 2-0. And he turned on it, tried to fight it off, and it goes foul, does Beaver, the right fielder. 2 balls and a strike. The winner of this section will play the winner of Section 4 in the Game 4 of the state tournament. That'll be next Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock. And Matt Haas now set to go. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 gone here in the top of the fourth, and that one is inside for ball 3, and not to the pleasure of the Hopkins fans, however. So 3-1 has on Beaver here. Beaver again slashes it just foul down the, this time right field, right down the first baseline, I should say, and a little bit closer to being fair that time. So the count goes full to Beaver. Beaver again to be followed by the catcher Bormus here, as Haas works against the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. In the top of the fourth, Hopkins trailing 2-0. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Shot right towards Yankee, and Yankee up with it and throws on to Rector for out number 2. So he got him to the full count, and then he pitched himself a good one there. Did Haas, and forces Beaver to shoot to the left side and into the 6-3 put out. Jeff Bormus now, the catcher, who singled back in the second. And on the year, batting .340 with 9 RBIs. Not bad for the catcher. That one in there for strike one. Bormus and Towie have alternated positions this year, both having opportunities to catch and designate hitting as well. And that one is in there, strike two, so Has ahead of the number 8 hitter. 2 away here in the top of the 4th from Dick Siebert Field. Section 6 championship baseball here on Channel 12, and that one up high, and it will run the count to 1 and 2. Jefferson with 4 hits, 2 runs to go with them, and they've kept the Royals shut out, but Has goes 1-2-3 inning here and gets yet another strikeout. Catches a Jaguar looking, and that's strikeout number 5 for Matt. We'll be back with more after this on Cable 12.
When you hear the phrase, your community, do you think Twin Cities? Or is your community actually your city, the place you call home?
There's news happening in your community every day. News in your city hall, your neighborhood, your children's school.
That's what Cable 12 News is all about. We do something the other stations can't. We bring you news from the Northwest community each and every day.
We're your community news channel. We're Cable 12 News, the one to turn to.
Bill Conlon back with you on Cable 12, and we're set to go to the bottom of the 4th, where the Royals will send the number 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Damian Winther, Jeff Urkela, and Matt Has, to face Adam Brett here in the bottom of the 4th. Jefferson with a 2-0 lead, and they got those runs in the first off of back-to-back singles as Todd Kanan and John Nuss both scored, and it was case of where I think a little, if you want to call it a hangover from that first game. It was Jaguars were hitting the ball hard against Minnetonka. Got themselves a big 6-run 6th inning to put the Skippers away, and they lead it 9-1. And
he kind of ignored me.
Mentioned that Brett has gone through the lineup unscathed here against the Royals. Winther to lead it off here in the top of the 4th. Damian having 78 at-bats coming into tonight's contest. 26 hits, 10 RBIs, and he's walked 11 times, struck out 5. So he's done his job of trying to get on base, but so far tonight, the Royals have just 1 man aboard, and that was Urkela back in the first. And Winther gets the count in his favor. 2-0 quickly. Brett with a long look, and he's set. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's in there for strike 1. Long look again, and here's the 2-1 pitch. It's on the inside corner for strike 2, and Winther just can only shake his head. Boy, a generous strike zone here tonight from George DeRoches. Perhaps he's had enough of these 3-hour games that we seem to have had here at Siebert Field. And Winther battles that one off, fights it off as fouls it left side and stays alive. Winther, Urkela, and Has to face Brett here, and Damian has the count at 2-2. And now Brett steps off the mound. The Royals, as I mentioned, we did a game earlier in the year against Park Center, and you could tell this team was warming up to things. This one shot center field, a long run by Conrad. He makes the play, though, and the 2-2 pitch Winther flies to center for out number 1. Got to bring up Urkela. Jeff reached back in the first, but was put out on a double play. And Jeff, 14 RBIs, 2 home runs, and .328 average coming into tonight's game. Here's the first pitch. It's low and outside, ball 1. Two 2-0 Jefferson with the lead, and here's the 1-0 pitch to Urkela. He steps back, held off on that one, and I believe it's ball 2. Yes, it is. So Urkela with the quick check swing there as you take a look at it. Quick work by folks in the truck there. Wow. That one trying to, oh, they painted the outside corner. My heavens. Wow. I guess this guy's got a plane to catch. My heavens, that one was, I don't think a left-handed hitter could have hit that one. 2 balls and a strike. Pitches outside, ball 3. And I'm not playing Homer play-by-play guy here, folks. That ball was really outside. I mean, what more can I say? 3 balls and a strike now. The count to Jeff Urkela. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And he calls it a strike. 3-2. And Adam Brett has found himself a home here as he is getting the outside corner given to him. There, he lost it, and it's a walk for Urkela. And patience pays off for the Royals' third baseman. And so now Matt Haas will get a chance to bat with 1 away. And that's one thing the Royals need to do. They, as I mentioned, right now Brett has the no-hitter going, but if they could just find a way to break him and get into that Bloomington Jefferson bullpen, it might be a whole different ball game. That ball outside. 1-0 to Haas. Matt hit into that 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the first. Matt on the year, batting .321, 13 RBIs. Can't say much more about what an outstanding athlete this kid is. Just a junior, so Dan has him back 1 more year. That one is on that outside corner that Adam Brett has found tonight. So the senior right-hander for Jefferson, pitching the no-no so far, has given up the walk to Urkela here, and then has chased that one. But because of that outside corner that he's getting, he can't blame him for going for it. And there's 2 strikes now as Haas falls behind 1-2. 1 gone. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Bloomington Jefferson with a 2-0 lead. And here it is. Hey, swing and a miss. He struck him out as Haas goes down swinging. And it is the 4th strikeout for Adam Brett. And it'll bring up the designated hitter, Chris Peterson. Urkela still down at first, but now 2 away. And Peterson batting .408. Got himself 2 home runs, and boy, the Royals would like nothing more than a dinger here. First pitch is a ball. Jefferson's Adam Brett on the hill, facing Chris Peterson, and the 1-0 pitch. No, they throw back over to first, and Brett thought he had him, trying to catch Urkela sleeping there. Hard tag applied there by Dan Richards, and the count remains 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch, up high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 away here in the 4th. as Chris Peterson, the designated hitter, trying to make something happen for the Royals. And 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, Peterson got caught on that one. Great pitch by Adam Brett. And then the right-hander is rolling right now. He's got the confidence, and he's pitching well. 2 balls and a strike, 2 gone. Jeff Urkela down at first, and they'll try to catch him down there, but not in time. Urkela just not 2 steps off, now 3 steps. He's moving out a little bit more. Pitch is in the dirt, and Urkela will run up, and he's on to second. So the movement paid off. Urkela, it's 3-1 now, and Peterson has a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 4th. So Brett was worried with the good reason there, but the throw in the dirt allowed Urkela to advance and move up. Swing and a miss by Peterson. 3 balls and 2 strikes now, as Chris Peterson has run the count full. And a timeout call here as Jeff Bormas will come out to talk with the right-hander. It's been a long tournament. This Section 6 tournament started way back with the first round sudden death playoff on May 21st. That's Wednesday, 21st. And Edina, Kennedy, Richfield, and Hopkins winning those games. The Royals had to beat Cooper 8-2. And then they beat Jefferson 4-1 on the 24th. Here's the pitch. Peterson, a shot towards third. And scooping it up and throwing on to first was Todd Keenan. And that'll do it. The Royals, no runs, no hits, and not able to, they leave 1 on. And after 4 complete, Bloomington Jefferson 2, Hopkins nothing. We'll have more baseball action on Cable 12 when we return.
School kids from the northwest suburbs traveled to flood-ravaged western Minnesota to help with the cleanup. Cable 12 News was there to bring the story home to you. When a Crystal family was blessed with quadruplets, Cable 12 was there to help you share in their joy. And when friends gathered to help build a wheelchair ramp for a woman suffering with cancer, Cable 12 was there to bring you their triumph. Memorable moments, just part of what sets Cable 12 News apart from the others. Cable 12 News, the one to turn to.
This phone's taken.
Son, will this help you?
Maybe the last thing you would do for somebody should be the first.
Thanks. Hey, I appreciate it.
A message from the Credit Union Foundation and your hometown credit union.
Inside the Jefferson dugout, and a happy group, certainly, because not only did they beat Minnetonka 9-1 earlier today, but they have a 2-0 lead as we head to the top of the 5th. There's, meanwhile, some concerned faces in the Royals dugout. And Jefferson now sending number 9, 1 and 2 hitters. Adam Laboda, the left fielder, looks at the first pitch. Swings at this one, back to Haas on the mound, and a good defensive play once again by Matt Haas to retire Laboda. 1-3 and 2 pitches. So Haas doing a nice job defensively, and the Royals now will face the leadoff hitter Tyler Gregory. Gregory having flown out and struck out. He's 0 for 2 on the night, and on the year, 398 hitter, so he may be due here, but Matt Haas certainly hopes not. First pitch, a ball. game has moved along, I'll tell you that. And this shot back. Oh, what a great stop by Matt Has. Once again, has it on the defensive end. Boy, that's the third fine play off the mound by the Royals starter as he takes what could have been a base hit back up the middle away from Tyler Gregory. Let's take a look because, you know, some goaltenders that would like to have a glove like that. And a great job. Todd Kanan now, so just like that, has quickly 2 outs, but this pitch inside and ball 1 to Kanan. Kanan singled back in the first and scored the Jaguars' first run. He's 1 for 2 tonight, and being bounced out in the second. Even count now, 1-1 to the Jaguars' third baseman. And here's the 1-1 pitch from Has. Shot towards third. Urkela up with it, throws on to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Has and the Royals here in the 5th. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We're through 4.5. Back with more after this.
Your community is where you live. It's where your kids go to school, where you shop, bank, and put gas in your car.
There's news happening in your community every day. May not be the news the downtown stations are looking for, but it's the news that's important to you.
That's what Cable 12 News is all about. We do something the other stations can't.
We bring you the news from the Northwest community each and every day. We're your community news channel.
We're Cable 12 News, the one to turn to.
Jacob Swartout, Adam Acker, and R.J. Richens to bat here in the bottom half of the 5th, with the Royals trailing 2-0. And we welcome you back to Siebert Field. Bill Conlon here on Cable 12. And Tony Nelson deciding to sit this one out tonight. Tony was going to join us up here in the booth, but he decided to look on and be a spectator tonight, which is just fine. As his Falcons, fantastic season. They had been #1 rated a couple times this year, and certainly will have quite a bit of talent returning. So we'll look for good things from the Falcons. Meanwhile, the Royals, the time is now. Even though they have a lot of young players on this squad, they find themselves in a position, if they could just get the bats going, to be headed to the state tournament. Right now they trail 2-0 as we hit the bottom of the 5th, and Swartout looks at ball 1. Swartout, what a great game he had the other day as Hopkins took care of Minnetonka in the 5th round action on last Thursday, 3-2. And Swartout patient here at the plate. He's ahead of the count, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's strike 1. The Royals center fielder on the season, batting .310 with 9 RBIs and 1 home run, and he bounced out back in the second. That time he looked at ball 3. Wow, figured that out. Not sure where that pitch was, but I'm going to stop doubting George Geroshis. He's behind the plate for a reason. He's earned it. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Yikes. Okay, not so quickly there, Bill. Strike 2. And it's 3-2. Full count now to Swartout. And take a look at it. You make the call, folks. Of course, that's a different angle from us, but Swartout, a shot. Oh, my. And they say foul. Dan Johnson pleading a case once again. And that one did look like it hit over the bag. And it's a 3-2 pitch. Jacob trying to find it there. And 2 balls in play here. I don't know if we had a look at that one, but I tell you what, it was a quick shot down third. And it looked And it looked as though it might have been fair, so Swartout does stay alive, however. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Way outside, ball 4. So the Royals get the leadoff runner aboard, leadoff hitter aboard. And Adam Acker, the right fielder, will step in. And they need to give the Royals fans something to cheer about. Now they got the leadoff walk. And as I mentioned earlier, as quickly as this game has been played, actually, it's a long 7 innings. Kids' nerves, they got a lot of action they have to go through, and I'm sure Adam Brett with a no-hitter is well aware of that. Right fielder Adam Acker, the batter. Acker batting .338 on the year, 9 RBIs, and here's a great bunt down along the left field side, and that one was scooped up. The play made by Kanan, but advances the runner. Swartout over to second. So 1 away, and R.J. Richens will step in, the left fielder, who struck out back in the 3rd. But the Royals have a runner in scoring position. And Swartout down there at second. And a situation here where Richens will try to help his club. Batting .217 on the year. See what happens. R.J. holds back on a wild pitch there, and it's ball 1. And RJ's going to get a talking to from Dan Johnson now. The two will discuss strategy and perhaps discuss the fact that, hey, you don't have to go out and chase that outside pitch. Be patient, and let's do something up there. Does anybody think I may have said exactly what Dan said? We'll never know, will we? The Royals 16-9, Jefferson 20-5, and the Jaguars lead it 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. They throw back to second. Wow, that one was thrown well behind Tyler Gregory, but luckily he was able to reach back behind him and grab that one. As Adam Brett certainly doesn't like to see anybody on base, does he? He's got the no-hitter going. And here comes the 1-0 pitch in the dirt, and ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes, 1 gone here in the bottom of the 5th. The Jaguars leading 2-0. But Jacob Swartout, the Royal center fielder, down at second base. And R.J. Richens trying to be patient at the plate. And the pitch is outside for ball 3. 3-0. And now you can hear a little bit of excitement in the Royal dugout. They've got something to cheer about here. 3-0, and what do you have RJ do here? The number 7 hitter. Well, we'll see. 3-0 pitch. He takes it all the way, and it's strike 1. Swartout at second. 1 gone here in the 5th. Royals trailing 2-0. Big pitch coming here on the 3-1 from Adam Brett. Pitch outside, it's ball 4, and the Royals have 2 aboard for Mark Phelps. And so the second baseman has a chance to be the man. 263 hitter. He's got 4 RBIs on the year. And what he's done good portion of the time this year is drawn some walks. He struck out a bit too, though. See how Mark plays this and how the Royals do. Got 2 runners on and 1 gone with Mark Phelps, the batter. Swartout at second and Richens at first. The pitch. Swing and a miss by Phelps. Mark flew out back in the 3rd. His only at bat. He's 0 for 1. And falls behind here. Jefferson got 2 runs early in the 1st. Top of the 1st, and they lead it 2-0. Brett still holding on to that no-hitter. This one is outside and ball 1. It's 1-1 now. 1-1 the count. One gone. Swartout at second, Richens at first. In a game where the Royals have yet to hit the ball safely, and they're trying to do it here in the fifth. They throw down a first. Richens is back. Quick tag there by Richards trying to get him. And RJ gets back. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 gone here in the fifth. Hopkins trailing Jefferson 2-0. Brett with a long look in, and now finally here's the 1-1 pitch outside. Oh my gosh, that ball was halfway to St. Paul, and that ball was called a strike. My heavens. I'll tell you what, folks. If that was a strike, the left-handed batter would have had it in his knee. My heavens. Well, Adam Brett, that's what he's got going for him right now. He's got a strike zone that has helped him along here, and the confidence continues to build for the young man. Not to take anything away from him. He's done a good job of keeping the Royals off the base pass, but now he's got 2 aboard, and here's the 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Phelps goes down looking, and the strikeout for Phelps is the 5th for Adam Brett, and it's a huge one here in the 5th. 2 away, and it'll lead it up to the number 9 hitter, Todd Yankee. Shortstop will step in. He struck out back in the 3rd. And now Dan Johnson going to come up and talk with Yankee, but I think more importantly, he's going to give himself a chance to kind of let the umpire think about the strike zone, perhaps. Dan Johnson, as I mentioned, first year out of Peru State of Nebraska. He's turned around this Royals program and done a fantastic job in combining youth and the experienced senior group. And here's Yankee now, the sophomore, in a big situation with 2 runners on and 2 gone. Here's the pitch by Brett. In there for strike 1. Yankee on the year, batting .270. And has struck out quite a few times, so that has been a problem for young Todd. That pitch outside, ball 2, or ball 1, I should say. And now it's got to be a hard pitch to take when it slides along there. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Royals trailing 2-0. They've got 2 aboard. Swartout at second, Richens at first. And here comes the 1-1 pitch to Yankee. Outside, ball 2. And if Yankee gets aboard, it'll go back to the top of the order, and Damian Winter would have a chance to bat. And the catcher would like nothing more, I would assume. Adam Brett, long look in, and Yankee now steps out. I mentioned why Todd has that face guard on. You can see there he might have had a good look. His left eye still bruised and battered from taking a shot in the Armstrong game. Here's a 2 balls, 1 strike pitch, and Yankee shoots it back up the middle where Nuss will pick it up on to Gregory for the out. And the Royals get 2 walks but leave 2 men aboard. No hits, no runs, and after 5 complete, Jefferson 2, Hopkins nothing.
Community Journal, a program that gives you a better look at the northwest suburbs. It's about our cities, where we live. It's about our businesses, what we do. It's about our lifestyles, how we live. It's about our people, who we are. Community Journal, life in the northwest cities. Daily at 7:30 a.m., 12:30, and 6:30 p.m. on Cable 12.
As you know, Alan has announced he's HIV positive. He's okay, but does anybody know what he's going through? What do our people think? We need to get on this. Shirley, do we have an employee policy? Are we required to set one up? Kurt, is he covered by our insurance plan?
At least 1 in 10 businesses has had an employee with HIV.
John, Terry?
If you have a business, you need answers.
How can we help?
Call for this manager's kit.
It's awfully quiet in here.
And help keep your workplace healthy and productive.
Heading to the top of the 6th here from Siebert Field. And the Jefferson Jaguars will send shortstop John Nuss, first baseman Dan Richards, and center fielder John Conrad to face Matt Haas, who has settled down quite well after a tough first inning. And Royals have just not been able to find the bats here. And, you know, I think part of that, you wonder if that doesn't have something to do with the bit of a layoff. The Royals haven't played since last Thursday, whereas Jefferson got to play today. And that goes back to my question of Dan Johnson before the game, whether or not, you know, he liked the idea of having Jefferson play them right away, and you know, but I guess there's nothing you could do. The Hopkins still had the long layoff because of their winning ways. And the first pitch from Haas, he is inside, ball 1. Nuss singled in the first and flew out back in the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In there for, oh, it's not. Thought it was in there. Ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. Haas falls behind the shortstop. And here's the 2-0 pitch. Shot a long way and a long run. This one is off the wall, the champion side. Swartout digging forward hard, makes a great throw and holds Nuss to a double. He hit that ball a long way, folks. Darn near 375. They're checking back at first. They want to appeal and say he didn't touch first. Let's see if we can catch this on our replay, though. Good camera work, guys. Great job. It bounces right at the warning track. So that ball hit probably 365 dead away center field. And now Dan Johnson's going to come out. He's going to talk it over with the umpire. They have a discussion here. They think Nuss didn't touch first. I don't know. He's talking it over. And Johnson is shooed away. Well, the Royals have certainly felt like they haven't got the breaks there, but you're going to have to make some of your own to win a championship. That's usually how it happens. The 5th hit, by the way, for the Jaguars. Their first, however, since the 2nd inning. They had 3 in the first, and here's Dan Richards, who's 0 for 2 tonight. First baseman, big first baseman, steps in. Richards on the year batting .260 with 16 RBIs and has an RBI chance here. The Royals certainly don't want to give up any more runs, having struggled. And here's the pitch. Gets away. They're going to throw. Winter will not throw, I should say. They're going to run as Nuss moves all the way up to third. And now a nice and easy fly ball would give the Jaguars a 3-0 lead. Matt Haas was cruising along until perhaps a little too long 5th inning by his team. Had him come out, and Nuss greeted him with a double. Now down at third with nobody out. Here's the pitch and a suicide. They'll get it. And the throw down to first is into right field, into the corner, and around second goes Richards. And the Jaguars lead at 3-0, and Richards is in scoring position on the air. Take a look at it one more time. Richards trying to lay down the suicide bunt. And as it turns out, Urquela comes up with it cleanly, but then he threw off balance perhaps, and Phelps didn't have a chance. It's the second error on the Royals. And now they're faced with a big problem here. Matt Haas facing John Conrad, center fielder. Conrad, the center fielder. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Down low. Ball one. 1-1 to Conrad. He's batting .306 coming in today's game. We're in the top half of the sixth. The Jaguars have added to their lead. They lead at 3-0 now, and they have a runner in scoring position. Shot into left field. And up throwing, but no play because Urkela cuts it off. Richards, not the graced with a lot of speed, holds up at third. But Conrad and the hit parade continues now for Jefferson. I'll tell you what, these Bloomington teams and the Lake Conference have proven they can hit, folks. And they do it here. Richards on to third. It's the 6th hit of the ball game for Jefferson. And Towie now will bat, having singled back in the first with still nobody out here in the top half of the sixth. 1 run in already. Has his pitch is in the dirt. Ball 1. And they'll get the bullpen going, and it'll mean that Chris Peterson will run down there, I believe, yes. And Adam Schoberg as well. Head down to the Royals bullpen. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Haas. On the corner. And I was thinking it had to be because that's where the other strikes have been tonight. Outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. And certainly to the umpire, home plate umpire George DeRoche's credit, he has been consistent about that strike. 1-1 pitch. High bunt. Urkela has it. And he looks off the bases. And a big out there as Towie, the designated hitter, pops one up. And there's the big out. Urkela this time catches and then waits to make sure everybody's back at their designated places. So 1 away with runners at the corner. Liam Beaver, the batter. And the right fielder is 0 for 1 tonight. And the pitch, strike 1. One gone and 2 runners on here for the Jaguars with the 3-0 leaders. The 0-1 pitch in there, strike 2. Liam Beaver, the right fielder. He's got runners at the corners. Richards at third, Conrad at first, and here comes the 0-2 pitch. Oh, just too low. Ball 1. Beaver on the year, batting .365, 15 RBIs. Looking to add to that ribby total. Here's the 1-2 pitch. The runner is going. They throw down to second, and Conrad is in with the stolen base.
Nice wheels, Johnny K, buddy.
Working out of the double play, and a good call there by the Jefferson head coach, Rod Daniels, in his 11th year. He's got a nice combination of seniors and underclassmen as well. Big pitch coming here now for Matt Haas. Trying to keep this game within reach for the Royals here in the top of the 6th. Runners at second and third. Here's the 2-2 pitch. In there, strike 3. He struck him out looking, and Beaver goes down as the Royals starter has his 5th strikeout, and all 5 of them looking tonight. That'll leave it up to Jeff Bormas, the catcher, who is singled and struck out. He's 1 for 2 tonight. So Haas trying to work out of the jam with the runners at second and third. Here's the pitch to Bormas outside. Ball 1. the 1-0 pitch. Oh, and a shot towards center. And up with it is Swartout for the out. And so Haas gets out of a jam. He does give up a run and 2 hits. But the Royals still within reach. And after 5.5, Hopkins trails 3-0.
When breaking news hits, Cable 12 is the one to turn to. Whether it's a holdup at a Brooklyn Center store, a hit-and-run accident that injured a state trooper, or a snowmobile accident that left a local man paralyzed, Cable 12 News is there, even before the big downtown stations. That's because we focus exclusively on your community here in the northwest suburbs. So when breaking news hits, switch to Cable 12 News.
There you take a look at the past 6 AA champions. Minnetonka, 5 times in a row they had won this section, but they won't do it this year. Bloomington Jefferson having knocked them out earlier tonight with a 9-1 victory. And the Royals trying to be the last team, since they were the last team to win it, besides the Skippers. Trying to do it here, but they'll have to do it with some late inning heroics, because as we go to the bottom of the 6th, Hopkins trails 3-0, and the Royals will send the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Damian Winther, Jeff Urkela, and Matt Haas, to face off against Adam Brett, who still has the no-hitter going, despite a couple walks and a hit batsman. Winther on the night, grounded out. Hit back to the pitcher, actually, in the first, and then flew out back in the 4th. As the Royal Bats have been silenced here, and like I said, perhaps the long layoff. I don't know how else to figure this. They really haven't hit tremendously well as a team all year, but they were doing it with good defense and good pitching. And Jaguars have just had a little deeper lineup that way. Here's the pitch, and it's the outside corner once again. Dan Johnson can only shake his head as that strike zone continues to just get wider and wider, at least in his eyes, I'm sure. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and a shot by Winther, but it's grabbed by Loboda, and quickly 2 pitches, 1 out for Adam Brent. Well, if you're going to get beat, you might as well get beat by a no-hitter. But how frustrating it must be for the Royals. And they just haven't been able to get anything going here. Third baseman Jeff Urkela now the batter. Jeff has reached twice tonight. Was hit back in the 1st and then walked in the 4th. So he's been the only guy to figure out Brett, if you want to call it that. And a little discussion at the mound between Bormas and Brett. And Adam must have gotten the signals back together as how to pitch to Urkela here. Here's the first pitch. It's in there, strike 1. Certainly to his credit tonight, as he should be with a no-hitter going here. In the 6th, Brett has stayed ahead of the Royal hitters. That has been a big key. A few walks, but he's really stayed ahead of them. That one outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. We're in the bottom half of the 6th with Bloomington Jefferson leading 3-0. A swing and a miss by Urkela, and the count goes to 1-2. Brett so far tonight with 5 strikeouts, matching the total by Matt Haas. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and he laid off it, and it dips down into the dirt for ball 2. Haas is the on-deck hitter, waiting for his chance, hoping that Urkela can get on once again here tonight. been on twice. And he'll step back. A little time called by Jeff. Urkela batting .328 coming into this game, 14 RBIs. And a long look by Brett. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Up high, ball 3. And Urkela, I'm not sure where he was going there. I don't know if he thought it was ball 4, but certainly you'd think he didn't hope it was strike 3. So he's run the count full as he did in his first 2 at-bats. The first time the count was full and he got hit. Second time he drew the walk. So let's see what happens here for Jeff. 3-2, he swings at it and stays alive, fouling to the left side. So he's been a battler up there tonight. And meanwhile, I can't see from here because of my angle whether or not the Royals have their bullpen going or not. Perhaps they decided that Has got him through that tough situation and keep him in there. Nonetheless, here's a big pitch coming out from Adam Brett. He's got a no-hitter going, and here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside corner, and he struck him out. Oh, my. It's strikeout number 6 for Adam Brett. And if you want to go to St. Paul and try to swing that one, that's where you'd have to reach it, because that one was, again, in the left-hand batter's box about near the line, and you can hear Jeff Urkela not happy with that one in the home dugout. That'll leave it up to Matt Has here in the bottom of the 6th, and the first pitch. Has takes it back up the middle, and there goes the no-hitter as Has has his first hit of the game, and the Royals perhaps will have something going. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done, and it's back up the middle for the first hit for the Royals. Put the bat on the ball, and that's exactly what Matt did there. Caught Brett going the other way, and it gives the Royals a bit of life here in the 6th. Rice will come in to pinch run now for Has down at first, and Chris Peterson, the designated hitter, steps in. Well, if there's one time you needed your designated hitter to be a hitter, it's right here. With a 3-0 deficit, the Royals trying to break through. If you can extend the game long enough, perhaps you can get something going. We take a look down at first there, James Rice. Pitch in there for strike 1. Count even. 2 outs here in the Hopkins 6th. They're trailing 3-0 with a chance to, if they win here tonight, they would win the section title, but they've got a long way to go yet. Swing and a miss by Peterson. The ball gets away, and they'll say he touched it. Didn't. Either way, he offered at it. And it's now a ball and 2 strikes. Dan Johnson going to come down and talk to Chris. Well, tough situation now. Peterson, the senior designated hitter and pitcher for the Royals. They need the big guy to come through here. Has having broke through with the single down at first. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Shot down the third baseline. This one will go. They're going to go wave him into third, and he'll be in there sliding heads up. Peterson down to second, and the Royals trying to get a 2-out rally going. A shot down the third baseline by Chris Peterson. Has all the way, or excuse me, Rice, the pinch runner, and there you can see Peterson just beat Keenan down the third base line. And now runners second and third as, again, Dan Johnson will use Paul Bissonnette, go to the bench here. Bissonnette will come in and pinch run for Peterson. And it'll bring up center fielder Jacob Schwartout with 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th. Winther flew out. Urkela was caught looking But then a single by Haas and a single by Peterson. And the Royals have something going here in the 6th. Back-to-back hits. And now Brett, and there's a discussion here. Catcher's going to go in and I believe must have a bad glove or mask, or I'm not sure what. Meanwhile, Rod Daniels will get a trip out to the mound. Dan Johnson will come down to talk to Jacob Swartout. Not positive what happened down there. I see the catcher's still down in the dugout, but had to have been an equipment change. He's working on one of the... He's got some tape there. That's it. And there's a good look at it. Perhaps he's got a blister or something. I'm not sure, but certainly the umpire was quick to give him the call. So some anxious moments here for the Royals in the bottom of the 6th. They've got their number 5 hitter, Jacob Swartout, in a key situation here now with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Jacob on the year batting .310 with 9 RBIs. This is a team that has really had to rely on 4 hitters. Well, they've stretched it out quite a bit, but Peterson, who just delivered there with 27 RBIs, the team leader. Adam Acker has done a nice job as well with 26 coming into tonight's action. And now I believe we're all set as Jeff Bormas is back behind the plate. Adam Brett set to go to work. 2 away. And you've got Rice and Bissonette on the bases for the Royals. Pitch is in the dirt, and it's ball 1. How patient can Jacob be? Drew a walk back in the 5th. And he's in the key situation here in the 6th. Adam Brett staring in. He had his no-hitter broken up here with 2 outs. A shot, and just foul down the 3rd baseline. And it'll roll all the way into the corner. Evens the count at 1-1. Swartout, as I mentioned, had a fantastic game and a pitching performance, upping his record to 5-1 as Hopkins topped Minnetonka in a winner's game bracket. And here is the pitch, and it is in there on the corner. Is it? Yes. Strike 2. Hesitation there for a moment. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Needless to say, a very big pitch coming from Adam Brett here. The Jaguars hanging on to a 3-0 lead. Trying to close out the Royals in the 6th. Ooh, a little jump at the mound. Timeout was called, however. Swartout steps back in. And the nerves are flowing hot and heavy. 1-2 pitch. And this time it missed. 2-2 now. 2-2 pitch. And I'm not sure where it missed because there's no telling on the strike calls tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th. The Royals have 2 runners on. And here's the 2-2 pitch. He shot it deep to right. It's a long way, but he'll get it at the wall, Will Beaver, and that'll do it. The Royals will strand 2. They do get 2 hits, but no runs. And after 6 complete, Jefferson leads it 3-0 here on the Cable 12 Sports Network.
There's such a responsibility, all the love and attention you have to give to them all the time. Mine is always getting into things or doing something like tracking in the mud. Just when I feel the most irritated, those sad little eyes look up to me as if to say, Mommy, I'm sorry. And then I finally give in and give her her favorite thing. She's my baby.
More than 140,000 Americans have joined Peace Corps. Returning home, their experiences last a lifetime. Meet Lily Lindsay, a teacher in Virginia, and Scott Truex, a mayor and business owner in Colorado.
The challenges that I face as a Peace Corps worker were the same. For me as a public schools teacher, now I have a more global view.
The one aspect of the Peace Corps that really helped me in business and as the mayor of Crested Butte was learning how to work with people.
Changing America and changing the world. Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
Back at Siebert Field on this beautiful June evening. And been a beautiful performance, nice performance by Adam Brett on the mound. Matt Haas has pitched a whale of a game as well, but Jaguars have had the hits when they needed them. The Royals just got their bats going in the 6th, but left 2 aboard, and they head to the top of the 7th, trailing 3-0. And Adam Laboda will lead it off here in the 7th, and he faces strike 1. Laboda tonight, 0 for 2. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. At least they say he went. So Matt has his head on the count. Well, you look ahead to the 7th. Acker will lead it off for the Royals, followed by Richens and Phelps. But what a tough situation there for Hopkins. 2 outs. They got runners on with back-to-back base hits. Swartat flew out to right center field. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Shot foul right side. And Laboda stays alive. Adam on the year, hitting .274, 17 RBIs, and 2 home runs from the number 9 spot. If he's been there, that's not too bad. That pitch misses down low, and count goes to 1-2. Now, as I said at the top of the game, Hopkins with a win would advance. If they lose, they have to come back and face the Jaguars again tomorrow night, right here. And that one is shot to the gap. It'll go off the Hormel sign in left center. It didn't, and it just died there, actually. A long run for Swartat. And Laboda is on with a double. And the Jaguars just keep hitting the ball. Their 7th hit of the game. And they, again, I'd say the Bloomington teams have really come through with what you expected from the 2 fine programs, because they're well schooled, and it doesn't matter anywhere up and down the lineup. Number 9 here or there, Laboda coming through with the 7th hit. Has a talk with Winther. And again, at this point, the Royals need to keep Jefferson within their sights if they have any hopes of a 7th inning rally. The pitch by Has is in there for strike 1 to Tyler Gregory, the number 1 hitter. Gregory 0 for 3 tonight. Flew out in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd, and grounded out in the 5th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. So Has and staying ahead of, but he was ahead of Gregory as well, or excuse me, Laboda as well. That one in the dirt. Good stop by Winther. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the Jaguars' second baseman, Tyler Gregory. Gregory, one of the seniors on this Jaguar squad. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Has. Swing and a miss. He got a piece of it, though. Back to the screen. Stays alive. We're in the top half of the 7th. Jefferson with a 3-0 lead on now 7 hits for the Jaguars. A double here by Laboda here in the 7th. 2 errors, and they've been costly ones for Hopkins. Pitch down low, and it's 2-2 now. Well, Has can't afford to let Gregory get aboard with the dangerous 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up. So big pitch coming, 2-2. And it's in the dirt. They check off and able to keep Loboda down at second. Count goes full at 3-2. So far tonight, Matt has done a nice job control-wise. He has not given up a walk. And he certainly doesn't want to start now. Nobody out. Runner at second in Loboda. And here comes the 3-2 pitch from Matt Haas. Jammed him, and Gregory stays alive by fouling it. I don't know if he fouled it off himself, but he did foul it off in front of the plate there. Bill Conlon with you on Cable 12. Proud to bring you section baseball action from Siebert Field. The Royals trailing 3-0. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Matt Haas. Shot back to Phelps at second, and he bobbled it. Oh, my. And ought to throw wildly. The run will score. And Dan Johnson, who was already halfway out of the dugout, watches as Loboda comes around to score. And Phelps with 2 errors on the play alone. Let's take a look at it here. Gregory, the shot towards second. Phelps gets a little spooked by the runner and can't handle the play. Then he decides to throw into the dugout, and costly play there by Mark Phelps. Gregory gets to second on the air, and Dan Johnson has a couple more thoughts there for Matt Haas. And the batter is Todd Keenan, the third baseman, as Jefferson now leads 4-0. 4 Hopkins errors tonight. And simply stated, 3 of those runs have come as a result of those errors. Haas delivers a strike to Keenan. And here's the 0-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. Four 4-0 our score. Jefferson with the lead. We're in the top half of the 7th. And the Royals, Matt Haas facing Todd Keenan. And here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. And now Winter will come out to talk with Haas. Well, it's one of those situations where perhaps the long layoff for the Royals, they could not get their bats going. Certainly the Jaguars have been hitting the leather off the ball. They did it against Minnetonka with a 9-1 victory just prior to this game. And Jefferson with a 20-5 record has now got themselves in a position where they can come up with the win here, and a win tomorrow night, they'll be in. Strikeout of Keenan, though, as Haas continues to work his strikeout numbers. 6 strikeout tonight for Haas, and John Nuss, the shortstop, steps in with 1 away here in the 7th. Tyler Gregory down at second. And here's the first pitch to Nuss. In there for strike 1. Nuss singled back in the first. He flew out in the 3rd, and he doubled in the 6th. Going 2 for 3 tonight. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Down low, ball 2. Excuse me, first ball. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And here's the pitch. Right on the corner, where it's been all night, the outside corner. It's been a good place to be if you're a fan of the extended strike zone. Here's the 1-2 pitch now, and a shot, foul. First base side. Has taken a long look in. And Winther, here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And they'll throw down to first for the out. As Nuss is retired, and strikeout number 7 now for Matt Haas. It's been a night of good pitching from Matt. There's been some timely hitting, though, by the Jaguars, and then the costly errors by the Hopkins defense. And that's been the situation here as Dan Richards steps in. And here's the pitch. It's in there for strike 1. Richards struck out in the first. He grounded out in the third. And this one will get away. Winther will watch as Gregory will move up to third on the pass ball. That one was a tough handle there for Damien. Well, the Royals have been able to keep it at the 4-run difference right now. Matt would like to keep it right there, as Acker, Richens, and Phelps are due up in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 1-1 pitch now. And a shot foul on the left side. And Richards falls behind 1-2. Tyler Gregory 90 feet away with the Jaguars' 5th possible run there. And Matt Haas trying to bear down and get Dan Richards, and perhaps his 8th strikeout. Ball's up high. It's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, and here's the pitch from Haas. Swing and a miss, but he fouled it at the plate and just got a piece of it, I should say. Is that Winther was hot off the plate there. Yeah, but just a beautiful night for baseball here. The small, slight breeze at summer temperatures, and the Royals just haven't been able to find the bats tonight. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Down in the dirt, gets away from Winther. The umpire is in the way, but does not matter. Gregory will score, and it is 5-0 for the Jaguars. Well, that's a situation where Haas was going for the knockout punch, and instead maybe the knockout punch for the Jaguars. Royals have been stymied here, and Richards now looking at a full count. 3-2 pitch. Up high, and he walked him. So instead of getting that final third out, he gives up his first walk of the night. And it looks as though, with Conrad stepping in, another tough situation here for Matt Haas. Dan Johnson has decided to stay with him, and deservedly so. Haas has proven that he's gutted it out here tonight. As I mentioned, he's already recorded 7 strikeouts. Dan Richards at first. There are 2 away in the top of the 7th. Jefferson have 2 runs in, though, and the Jaguars now lead 5-0. Swing and a miss. Conrad wanted to deposit that one somewhere over the SA signs here at Siebert Field. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Swing and a miss up high, and now has found a place where Conrad likes to swing. Conrad reached on an error in the first, struck out in the 3rd, and singled in the 6th. Has long looking and now set and pitches 1-2 up high for 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And a excuse me hit. Phelps under it, and he has it for the 3rd and final out. But not before Jefferson gets 2 more runs as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Hopkins trails 5-0.
It happens early every morning while you're still asleep. Ann Colin, Frank Wasinski, and the other people who put together Cable 12 Mornings are already hard at work, writing the news important to people in the northwest suburbs, checking the latest weather forecasts, compiling the morning traffic report. They put together highlights of last night's local sports and talk to students from Northwest schools. All so you can get the information you need before you head out the door each morning. Cable 12 Mornings, the one to turn to when you wake up.
The Hopkins Royals started this run to a possible section championship with a win over Cooper 8-2 in the first round, and they beat these Jaguars 4-1 on Saturday the 24th. They topped Armstrong 9-5, and then last Monday night they beat Minnetonka 3-2. But right now, if they're to have any hopes of ending it here tonight, they'll have to come up with a big time rally in the bottom of the 7th, trailing 5-0, and they'll go to a pinch hitter. And they'll go with Brandon Hagan to bat for Acker, which is an interesting move here. Let the senior have a crack at it in place of Acker, the senior, who is hitting pretty well. Hagan, however, has perhaps a fresh look at this. We'll see what happens. First pitch is a ball from Adam Brett. 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2. Hagan just batting .074 so far this season. He's had just 27 at bats. So that's the other reason for kind of an interesting move here by Dan Johnson. And Hagan so far has worked it well for at least Dan Johnson's purposes. Taking the count to 3-0. 3-0 pitch. It's on the corner. Whatever corner you want to call that. It's 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike, and the pitch is low, inside, ball 4. So Hagan comes up and does what he needed to do, get aboard. And now R.J. Richens will come into bat, but I think he may be hit for here as well. Dan Johnson running to the dugout. And the umpire, George DeRoche, is wondering about Dan Johnson's trip to the dugout. And I think it's a matter of perhaps some words were being said from the Royals. R.J. Richens steps in. First pitch, outside, ball one. The left fielder tonight is been at the plate just twice. Hagan down at first. The Jaguars certainly not concerned with him. Brett just wants to go after the hitters. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Jefferson with a 5-0 lead. And Richens swings through. Fouls it back to the screen for strike 2. Bill Conlon with you here on Cable 12 Sports. Section 6 action in the championship round. Jefferson with a win would send it to a second game tomorrow night. And Richens pulled back. And they do not go down to first to even appeal. And it's the second ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Hagan, the runner on with the walk here, leadoff walk. And 2-2 pitch coming now from Brett. 2-2 pitch. Richens fights it off. It's a number. They wait to go to third, or first, I should say, from third. And Keenan had plenty of time to get the lead, or get Richens down at first. Well, you need bases, not outs, but RJ did his best he could there, and comes up just a bit short. So Mark Phelps will step in now. Phelps 0 for 2 of the night. And the second baseman trying to deliver here in a key spot in the bottom of the 7th. Outside from Brett. Ball 1. Brandon Hagan down at second. The Royals trailing by 5. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Shot high in the air by Phelps. And under it is Conrad for out number 2. So the Royals down to their final out, and Todd Yankee will be the batter. Yankee, or Willie, let's see, Dan Johnson coming down the line again. I think they're gonna go to a pinch hitter here. I think they are. Yankee will be pulled, and I'm certainly not happy about it. But I'm going to let Jim Rice bat here. Rice, a junior. And this is certainly a situation where Dan Johnson showing what a class act he is. I don't know that he necessarily given up on this game, but he's given his players, all the players on the bench, a chance to play. Because he knows there is tomorrow, and perhaps they'll have to come back and do it tomorrow. But you never know. Rice just 6 at bats, so you'd have to think that Dan wants his players all to have a chance. Rice swings through, and it's safe, they said. So the ball in the dirt, and Rice was able to pull back in time. See if you can see it here. You make the call at home. Ooh. Hard to tell. Good view, though, from our camera. 1-1 pitch coming to Jim Rice. Rice scoops it. It's a hard shot. It'll be a tough play, but Gregory up with it and makes the play. And the Jefferson Jaguars have shut out the Hopkins Royals. Adam Brett on a 2-hitter. A fantastic job by the right-hander. And Bloomington Jefferson has forced Hopkins into a championship game, do or die, tomorrow night. Well, that'll do it for us here on Cable 12. We want to thank you for joining us. And once again, our final score, Bloomington Jefferson 5, Hopkins nothing. For the Cable 12 crew, I'm Bill Conlon, thanking you for joining us and saying so long from Siebert Field.
About the 35-yard line. I think he was a little surprised that somebody ran him down. He didn't see him coming from behind.
Well, he makes a stutter step. He really doesn't see Hadsel coming, and he's looking ahead to try to set up his move going ahead, and Hadsel runs him right down from behind.
Well, the East is going to stick with the same quarterback, at least for the time being here, Corey Hill out of Lambeth. From what I understand, the other quarterback, Brian Nelson, just arrived late last night. Probably hasn't had as much time to work with the offense as Hill did. Hill firing pass deflected and almost intercepted by Hadsel, who made the play on the punt return. The deflection is what cost him there, though, because it changed directions right before it got to him. That's Hill's first incompletion.
Boy, and he looked like he had that when the deflection made it so he had a pretty good chance of it. That's the second ball he's had bounce out of his hands. He had that fumble bounce right in and out of his hands earlier in the first half.
Maybe it's that dark shield, Billy.
That could be. Could be.
The lights, as you may be able to tell, not nearly all on here at the Dome for this game. Hill, play action. Now rush coming, and what a defensive play by Josh Glowicki. I think Josh went through two blockers to get to the quarterback on that play, and Hill kind of did him a favor by running right into where he was rushing too.
Yeah, Hill didn't stay behind his tackle, and he's kind of backpedaling, and you really can't outrun a guy when you're backpedaling and he's running forward. But Glowicki does a real nice job of staying in his rush lane and doing exactly what he's supposed to do, is stay on the outside shoulder of the quarterback.
Big loss of about 13 on the play for the East All-Stars. We're about halfway through our second quarter here from the Metrodome in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. I know we have fans watching from in addition to our normal service area from around the 5-state area. And glad you could join us for this one. Glad these kids could come and enjoy this game. I guess it's not good to call them kids anymore, though, after they're college seniors. Dump out into the flat, complete. Chris Miller of Lambeth hauls it in. But that's going to leave them obviously well shy of the first down.
And first punt of the day for the East squad. They've either turned the ball over on touchdowns or fumbles on their previous possessions, and their first punt of the day.
Looks like Major Wright will be doing the punting here for the East. Standing back on his 11-yard line. It's a very high kick. There's going to be a run back possibility, though, for Rob Ambrose. And the East covers it up pretty well, but West will be in a good spot on their own 46-yard line as they start this possession. First down and 10, and try and get something on the board here in the mid part of the second quarter.
Well, Ambrose does everything he can with it. He's trying to run towards the goal line. There's too many white shirts there to try to run through.
Boy, and the coverage team loves it when their punter puts the ball high up in the air like that. Gives you a chance to really get down there and cut off a good return.
Well, and it also forces the receiver to look up in the air for a long time and not knowing where people are.
Liam's pass, dangerous bounce off of his receiver Ambrose. Hit him right in the hands, it looked like, and it was up in the air for a little longer than the offense wanted to see there. Some anxious moments as they waited for that one to come down after it had gotten away from Ambrose. A little bit high.
Just a little bit. If he brings that down a foot or so, that's a completed pass for 12 or 14 yards. That slant's a very nice play. And guys like Chris Carter can run it and catch it. Really make that a hot play to try to stop.
So a 2nd and 10 now, and the snap bobble. Liam's going to have to just get on it himself, and it will bring up a 3rd down and long. Bill spoken like a true coach there, that little noise you made.
Yeah, well, you hate to see that. The worst thing is a center quarterback exchange. You see Liam's pulling out, going backwards before the ball is snapped, and it's almost impossible to make a connection on that type of movement. And again, especially when you've got a quarterback and a center who've only worked together for 2 or 3 days, it's really, really hard to do. They really have to tell your quarterback, keep your hands with the center for a good long moment.
3rd down and 13. Pass incomplete as he tried to get it out left side to Chad Jackson out of Augsburg, but he was well defended. He really did not have an opportunity to get at this one at all. The defender just kind of got in his way and never got out of the way, which is legal.
Yep.
If you have position.
And he just kind of boxed in. And again, that was Drew Christ from Chicago, from the University of Chicago.
So another punting situation for the West Stars. O'Greef, left footer. Low liner. Going to be taken by Jones on the 24. Doesn't go far. And the East will have the football back on about the 28 or 29-yard line here, trying to add to a 14-0 lead, and they have plenty of time. 4:50 to go in the second quarter. We're going to see our second quarterback, it would appear now. Well, let's see. No, I guess not. Sorry about that. Hill will remain in there.
Hill's going to stay in.
Not much of a lane opening on that one, and Jones just did what he could, get as much as he could.
That's right. The main thing to do in that situation is get what you can, don't lose the football.
So the East, who have scored 1 touchdown in each of the first 2 quarters so far, 1 on the pass, 1 on the run, 14-0 lead. Hill, play action and rolling to his right. Good protection, looking deep downfield. And knocked away at the last moment. Good defensive play by Kevin Staley. as he had Major Wright. That's a long way to throw the football. Wright was open, but he underthrew him just enough to allow the defender Staley to get back into it.
And Staley had to really run to get into that, and like you said, Jay, Wright was open, and that was a pretty well thrown ball. Wright didn't have to slow down to catch it. All he had to do was just adjust on the flight of the ball, but it was just enough to allow Staley to get in and get a hand on it and knock it away. That probably saved a touchdown for the West team.
Yeah, you can see that one developing. Well blocked and a well thrown ball as well, but just good defensive play. 2nd down and 10. They go toss sweep to Jones, cutting his way back toward the middle, and Jones brought down after a short pickup. Looked like Allen had a chance to go a little bit farther, but then he cut it back, and it's going to wind up with only a yard and a half or so.
Pretty good outside support that time from the outside linebacker, filling in the defensive end. Reuben Davis charged hard to the inside. The outside linebacker is able to fill to the outside and force that back in. When the running back is forced back inside, it allows the linebackers in pursuit and the linemen in pursuit to be able to make the play.
Well, we'll see what the East can do on 3rd down and long here. Hill has gone 6 out of 9 in the game through the air. Hill hit just after he released it, but still gets it out on target, complete to Chris Miller. Miller made a good play to come back to the football, as Hill really took a lick when he delivered that pass.
You see Josh Glowicki comes in and tries to separate his sternum from his head, but he hangs in there and throws it. He knows he's going to get his lunch. Boy, he gets a helmet right under the chin, and pretty well defense, and Miller goes up and makes a nice play.
Miller, great adjustment to that one. A lot of times it seems like the receiver has the advantage on that one because he's got a better look at it. I think the defender got a little bit turned around, and Miller just kind of made a better reaction to the football than the defender did. From the 47-yard line of the West, 1st and 10 now for the East. Roll out again. Hill firing, and he has his man again, Major Wright, hauling it in. And this East offense has been nice and efficient this afternoon. Pickup of 13 more and another 1st down.
Moving the ball very well. The Lambeth quarterback and receivers are all doing a good job of knowing where each other are supposed to be. Reuben Davis, the defensive end here, is getting caught inside on this play. It's the 3rd time now he's gotten caught inside. Fullback doesn't really have to make much of a block. And there's your flank support. You can see how easy it is for Corey Hill to get out and get a good look at the field. You don't even have to have a wide open receiver. But if that defensive end comes way inside like that, it's very difficult to defend it.
From the 34, play action again, and fires complete. Johnny Allen, the 4th, walking the tightrope, stepped out of bounds just inside the 20. It'll be another 1st down to about the 19-yard line.
Looked like Kent Kruger from Minnesota Crookston coming across the field. Just does, he pulls up with a hamstring pull or tear, and really slows him down and allows Miller to get to the sideline. That's Miller's 2nd nice catch there. Catching the ball in traffic and getting upfield, out of bounds, stop the clock with 3:11 to go.
On the 19 now, 3:11 before halftime. East looking to stretch the lead. Here's the give to Jones. Jones weaving his way through. Jones will score for the 2nd time in the game.
Well, that's a wide open
touchdown for JoJo Jones.
Boy, wide open on the left side, and JoJo's got some speed to get in there. You can see it's a nice draw play, gets a nice hole, and he's right into the end zone.
And Jones nearly gave the football to the official before he had actually
crossed the goal line. Yeah, it looks like you want to be careful tossing the ball like that. You toss it to the official, you haven't crossed the goal line, you're in trouble.
Christ on to attempt the extra point here for the East. Kick is wide to the left. And it will remain 20-0 East with 3:03 to go in our second quarter of play. Well, look at JoJo Jones. He may have given that football up. There he is tossing it. It's not the angle to tell at the best, but it does not look like he's in the end zone yet when he hands that ball over. So JoJo may have gotten himself a little bit of a break. But the East squad will get credit for the touchdown.
They've had the West squad has done pretty well, but they've had a little bit of a trouble. That counter play with Jones, that counter trap with Jones has been really tough. They've run it a couple, 3 times, and they either stop it at the line of scrimmage or Jones gets a pretty good run on it.
Christ will kick it off again as the West team in a big hole here late in the second quarter. Oh, and a good kick. Chases Zarling back deep. Zarling, oh boy, roughed up pretty good there by the big fullback, Ken Nelson Jr. First hit didn't seem to faze him much, but then Nelson drives him into the turf, and the East will have the football at about the 22-yard line.
Well, Zarling's doing a very good job of getting himself in position to get hit pretty hard. He gets popped pretty good by Nelson there after running into his own player.
Liam at quarterback. He took over in the second quarter in the quarterback rotation for the West All-Stars. On the 23 is where they'll spot this one to start the possession for the West team. Give off to Handel. Handel spins free, still not down, but he never really got anywhere either. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage at best.
But the defense for the East is really getting off on the ball. I don't know what's happening, but they're really getting off on the ball very nice. You can see it trying to run the counter tray, and there's just nothing there.
Handel's 5th carry of the game. Just 12 yards total, though.
The West has struggled a little bit running the football. They really aren't getting much of a movement off the offensive line.
See if they go to the air here, down by 3 scores. They will. And the pass is complete out in the left side to Chad Jackson out of Augsburg. Jackson immediately cut down there, but should be enough for a first down. Well, let's see. Maybe not.
He's going to be close. He's going to be just a little bit short, maybe about a yard. Jackson does a nice job catching the ball, but he just doesn't get that extra step that he needs to make the first down.
Christ again and on the stop. Seems like he's been around the football quite a bit this afternoon.
Christian Bennett. Bennett made a nice play there too to
yeah,
get
I believe you're right,
Jackson
Bennett.
down.
I'm sorry, 5 rather than 25. Give credit to Bennett where it's deserved. Handoff on 3rd and short, and I don't think they made it. That seems like a safe guess. Got loss of yards on the play. Handel took the handoff and got hit at about the same time on that play. What a defensive play. First contact there up front was made by 58 David Knuth.
When he was off the ball right now. That looked like that might be a pretty well set up play, but it just wasn't there at all.
Looks like they're going to punt here. We're just about a half minute to go before halftime.
I think they're going to try to.
Doesn't look like neither team is going to try and stop the clock here with a timeout.
No.
71 yards rushing and a couple of scores as he overcame an early fumble for the East team.
Yeah, at the beginning of the second quarter, it was 4-4 in first downs, and not too bad in the relationship of the total yards, but now it's pretty well reached towards the East squad.
That kickoff is